Hey, how's it going today? It's Frank here and I'm here with Terror Tuesdays. This movie is called Rattlesnake. Now, I'm pretty sure I might have seen the title on TikTok somewhere, because when I went into the IMDb site, the picture kind of looks very familiar and I've seen it before. So I'm pretty sure I might have come across snippets of this movie, or I'm sure I might have come across like suggested movies like on TikTok or something like that to watch on Netflix or wherever it is. So yeah, and I have no idea what to think of it. The ending, it kind of confused me. There's not really much to describe in the movie. I've seen the trailer for it that they showed on Netflix. Nothing really much was shown when I did watch the movie. It's always good to watch the movie first though, and then see my review afterwards. I just want to do the other way around, as I say in a lot of my videos. So yeah, it's about this mother called Katrina and her daughter Clara, and basically her daughter gets bitten by a rattlesnake, hence the name Rattlesnake, which is attached to the movie. And she gets bitten, she gets help from a mysterious woman in a trailer, and she helps her, but then she recommends Katrina to take her to the hospital. So she does, and she's in the hospital, and this guy comes in. I think you'll know his name later on, which I will mention. And this guy's sort of like the devil or something like that, and he said the only way that her daughter could be saved is by, killing somebody before sunset comes into, which is at 7 hours. So the time goes by and she's panicking and stuff like that, and she then comes across like people that got killed. Bear that in mind, there is a few scenes in this movie where it did kind of interest me a bit, as you saw like a guy that comes up from a truck and he's all like bloody and stuff like that. I kind of knew when I saw the blood on him that he was some sort of spirit or something like that, and he knows her name somehow and he wants to kill her. And then the rattlesnake kind of feels like biting her as well, and then after a while he just disappears, and then she sees a boy on a bike, and this is basically like the devil taunting her or something like that with other people. And this boy on the bike starts doing this motion as it say time is ticking, and he repeatedly hits his head on the car window like this, and it breaks. But then she gets run over, and there's nothing there obviously. It's just all like the paranormal work right there. And then she comes across a site that talks about different murders, and one of them was the guy in the truck that comes out, and she sees other murders, and she sees a guy that stopped the lawyer, whose name is Donald Cunnington or something like that. Cunnington? I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce his surname. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's the guy that is like the devil basically, that said yes, she has to pay the debt or something like that. And then she also, is in a bar and she sees this like woman drinking called Abby, and her boyfriend Billy comes in kind of controlling, and he's sort of like is a bit aggressive, and basically Katrina feels like shooting him. So she goes to like a gun store, and then the gun store can't do anything. So the guy called Earl recommends her to go to some sort of like his secret dealer, as he wants to call it, called Charlie. She goes to see Charlie, and Charlie's like a creepy dude, to be honest. I wouldn't really associate with him like that. But then he kind of tells her what gun to use and stuff like that, and he describes this like woman called Tracy. That's not really important in the movie. And then another scene where there's another scene that I probably would mention, and that's like someone's dad, basically Lorraine's dad. And I mean she felt like killing it, but then because he's like an innocent guy and he's about to pass anyway, like she couldn't do it, and she thought that was the wrong option, and he did eventually die. I don't know if that was part of like the devil's work, because Katrina's like a bit confused by that. But yeah, whatever, that's I had to mention that was partly kind of like important in the movie too, because I don't know if it was like the devil's work to it, or if it was originally going to die anyway. And yeah, so let me continue from where we left off. She then goes into breaks into Billy and Abby's house, basically breaks, and then she sort of like tells Billy to take her to like some sort of garage, but then they eventually drive to the middle of nowhere. And this is the most frustrating bit in the movie. She had someone she can kill in sight. She had a gun right to his head in the car when she was in the back seat. She had full sight to them, but lets him get away. And I think he was like fake crying or whatever it was, right? And so yeah, and he eventually escapes the car. She chases after him, and she comes across this photographer, or whatever you want to call it. There's someone taking pictures of that, the surroundings or whatnot, right? And then she says, "Oh, you had a great shot, but it's not meant to be, unfortunately. And yeah, your daughter's gonna die." And then I literally thought at this moment when Katrina was, cocking up her gun, as you want to call it. That's how you pronounce it, I think, anyway. I thought she was going to shoot this person, but this person was kind of, yeah, she kind of formed that something. It's like something was coming out of her, whatever it was. Like I thought she was going to twist her neck. I think she's like a demon or something like that. So, as that's about to happen, as you think, Katrina's going to shoot her, she gets hit by some sort of rock from like Billy that flew at her, and her daughter kind of turns to wake up, and as soon as Katrina wakes up, she gets she gets a gun taken by Billy. You see Billy with a gun and said, "Oh, why are you doing this? What's going on with you?" And then you see the rattlesnake come into it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that not the same rattlesnake from the start that bit her daughter? Maybe it is. I don't know. That was a bit unusual. So the rattlesnake, it feels like the rattlesnake came to her rescue, but I think it was just conveniently there, and it bites this guy's leg and he falls down, and then she has to climb down because she wants to kill him because she's not fully dead yet. She slices his neck, but not fully. I thought he was actually dead. I'm not being funny. He kind of did deserve that because the way he treated like Abby was just disgusting. Anyone would want to kill him in that way. So he kind of deserved it. And then you think, okay, she gets a call from a hospital, and then the hospital says, "Oh, she's okay, she's fine, everything's all good. She's been wondering where you were, and so have I as well." So you feel, okay, that's good. That's very nice. But then here's the weird, bizarre thing. She gets back to the hospital, and then her and the door will start to draw and colour in some stuff. I bear that in mind too. There is after she does kill Billy, she sees like people around, like some sort of other dead people. I don't know if they were also had similar sort of like situations happen to them or whatever it was. But then they were hanging out in the mountains and stuff, and she comes across like this, I don't know, this person who I thought was Donnie. I don't think it was. But she didn't communicate with any of them. She was just looking around. I was even confused about what was going on here. And so yeah. And that kind of relates back to one of the drawings. One of the drawings that her daughter drew was like, it was all black, and it was like a woman. There's like a man, a woman standing in the distance, like a sun it was black. That was just drawn black, and she was a bit confused by that. And I was thinking to myself, did her daughter really survive, or was it her? Did something happen to Katrina? I don't really understand. She was a bit confused by her daughter, by the way. But that mind, she was also a bit confused by the snake bite, because when the snake bit her daughter's leg, after the woman healed her, there was no bite mark. Was it gone by magic? What? Unless the woman, the trailer was part of this whole whatever ordeal, whatever you want to call it. Another bizarre thing was towards the end, she's driving a car into the desert, and then I don't know what not Abby. Clara. I don't know what Clara was telling Katrina. She said something about how many. I thought she meant how much more longer. I don't know. But then she says, "Oh look, Mum. Oh, I think she said hitchhiker or something." And it turns out when because Katrina was a bit curious herself. As soon as she drove past the dude, it was Billy. I'm pretty sure it was because he had a sellotape on his neck. So that's where she sliced him. And I was thinking, did you see him too? Bit late to ask that because she said there's a hitchhiker on the side of the road, so I assume so. And that really confused me, because I'm starting to think that her daughter actually died and she was hallucinating, or is she dead the entire time? Because that wouldn't make much sense, because she's driving the car with her daughter in it, or did Katrina get the snake bite the entire time and hallucinate about everything? This is the thing. I mean, I thought at first this movie was good. There was nothing really else happening. It's a decent movie, don't get me wrong. The acting was good. Dialogue was good. quality was good. Storyline was kind of good, I guess. I mean, get bit by Rattlesnake and make her deal with the devil. Fair, that wasn't too bad. I kind of like that concept. But the ending really did confuse me, and I need help from you lot in the comments to tell me what you think the theories were, because I have no idea if her daughter's alive. Because even she was confused. Her daughter's supposed to be dead. If she didn't kill him properly, then how on earth is her daughter alive? Surely the devil would have just taken her by now, taken her soul, as you want to put into technical terms. So yeah, I'm very confused. I'm really confused by that ending. It doesn't affect the rating or anything. I just need a bit more clarity from this movie. And to be fair, the movie wasn't that good as I thought it was going to be. There wasn't enough on it. There wasn't enough on it of an adrenaline rush for me. There was a tiny bit. It interested me a bit, but nothing else was going on. And it's just a merely decent movie. I can't say it's average. Average is a bit unfair. I like the concept of the movie. I kind of like it, but it's not the best movie I've ever seen. I don't think it's that good, which disappointed me. I expected high hopes for a movie like this. So yeah, rating for this is fairly simple. I'll give this a 7. I kind of like what the movie's about. I kind of like the whole concept of it. But again, it didn't grip me. I needed more, like, it could have been more scary. It could have been a bit more intense. They could have had more scenes of like spirits or demons involved in it or something like that. Could have made it a bit more different. Could have had made the ending a bit more clearer, and probably a bit more intensity, like I just mentioned. It needed a bit of that in a movie like this, because I love movies where a character has a certain amount of time to do something. It could be any sort of movie, like action, horror, or those different type of movies that does suit the whole like having to do stuff in time kind of thing. So yeah, I kind of like that concept, but again, it needs to be if she had a certain amount of time to do something, surely they could have made the movie more intense and more of an adrenaline rush kind of thing. But they didn't, which was kind of disappointing. So this movie is slightly overrated. It's decent, but it's overrated. So yeah, that's it for this video. 7 out of 10 it is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below. So see you in my next video.